So in our blog page, we've got the shortened down posts. And in this video, we want to make sure that if we click on the read more button or on the title, that this links to a page which is going to show the full length post. And we do that by creating a template called single.php. So head over to your text editor and create a new page and save this as single.php with all the rest of the PHP files. So in WordPress, there's two different types of page templates we can use. There's the single use template, which we'll be using for the contact and about us page, and that's only going to be used on one particular page. Or there's also a global template, which is a bit of a more general template, and we need to put a comment at the top of the page. So the single page is going to be loosely based on our blog page, so we can reuse a lot of the content. So copy the content from the index page and then paste this into the single.php. And because this is going to be a global template, we need to add a comment to the top to tell WordPress the name of the template. So add the comments. So it's going to be the name of the template, so it's going to be single post template. So this will have some of the same functionality as the blog page, but with just one or two little changes. For example, in the blog page we have the title linking to the full post, but we don't want that because we're already on the full post. So let's remove the hyperlink. So surrounding the title, remove the hyperlink, so the closing A tag. We can also remove the title attribute, the permalink, and all the way to the opening A tag. So save that. Then head over to the blog and click on one of the blog posts. And this is the single page that we're now working on, and we still need to add the title to the top of the page. So now you can see when we click on the link at the top, it's no longer a link, it's just the blog title. And we need to change the shortened version of the post to be the full length. And we do that by changing the excerpt back to the content. So save that and then refresh, and then we've got the full length of the post. So next I just want to head over to the style sheet and add a little bit of line height in, just to create some space between the tags, the category, and the text below. So if you go over to the style.css and copy a comment, I'm going to paste this just below the blog sidebar, the about us, the contact us. I'll put it just before the mobile styling. So paste that in, and we'll call this the blog single post. Let's just take a look at the class we need to target here. So if we go into the index page, so I want to add style into the tags and the category. So the class which surround those is blog post meta, and I've just noticed there's a little mistake there. We need to move the closing P tag to actually start before the tags and category, and then end just afterwards. Otherwise that won't work. So let's just put that in and save that. So back to the style sheet and then paste in the class. Don't forget to put a dot in front of it because it's a class. And then just add some line spacing with the line height property of 2ms. And let's refresh the browser and see how that's looking. Okay, so that still hasn't changed, so there's still a problem somewhere. So if we just take a look, it's because we've changed the closing paragraph tag on the index page, but we've not done it in the single.php. So head to single.php and then just move the closing P tag and put this after the category. Okay, and save that, and let's see if that's working now. Okay, I think that's working. We're just missing the tags off there just because I don't think that post has got any tags, which it doesn't. So if we try the August newsletter one, we've got the tags. We just need to add a break tag into there. So just after the author and after the closing A tag, add a break tag, and hopefully that should solve it all now. Great, so that's looking a lot better. We've now got some line height between the tags and the categories. So that's looking good now. Okay, so then if we go down the page a little bit more, we can also remove the read more button because we don't need that. In fact, we can move the whole of the link and just pull it up a little bit more and save. And then refresh that. And there we go, so that's the read more button removed. So one thing we need to be conscious of when building WordPress themes is that sometimes users can upload posts which are really long. Ours are only 5 paragraphs, so it looks quite good on the page. But if somebody uploads a really long post, they may want to split it up into different pages. So we maybe want to add a pager with previous and next on at the end of the post, just to split it up a little bit. And the way we can do that is we can allow users to put a break tag in. So if we choose a blog post, we'll just choose the one that we're on now, which is the August newsletter. And if we just choose a point in which you want to add a pager, we can add a comment in there, which is the same as a HTML comment, which says next page. I'm just going to copy this and paste it in one more time. And then update that post. And back to the site. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So now we've got our blog post appearing, and it's cut off after 2 paragraphs where we'll put the next page breakpoint, which is great. So next we need to just add a pager onto the bottom of the posts, which will allow us to skip to the next page. And we can do that in the single.php and add this just below the content. So open up the PHP. And then the WordPress function that we'll add is WP underscore link underscore pages, and the brackets and semicolon, and then save and refresh the blog page. So now we can see at the bottom we've got the number of pages. So we've got 1, 2, and 3, and they all appear to be working correctly. So the last thing I want to do is add a pager onto the bottom of the post, so we can skip to the next or the previous post if we want to. So back in single.php, go down to the pager, and instead of saying next posts, we'll just take the S off the end, and that'll link to the previous or the next post. And we don't need the text inside the brackets, because the name of the post is put in with WordPress dynamically. So save that and then refresh the browser. There we go. So now we've got the August newsletter, and we can link to the previous or the next post just by clicking on the buttons at the bottom. So we're making good progress, and the last thing we need to do is just add the text at the top of the page for the single post. So we'll do that in the functions page again, and we'll add another else if statement. So else if, in fact, instead of adding a new statement on there, we can just add it onto the is home one, just because we're going to be using the same text of Tranquil Spa official blog. So just after is home, we'll use the 2 pipes, which means or. So if we're on the home page, or the page is single, then print out the text, Tranquil Spa official blog. So save and refresh. Okay, good. So that's the template finished for the single blog post. And if you join me in the next video, we'll make it possible for users to add comments to the posts.